Hey guys, Morgan here, and today we're doing part 2 of introducing my imaginary friends. So, as I said in my last part that I did, I have a ton of imaginary friends, and 1,000 plus of them to be exact. Now, I'm sure some of you are wondering why I have so many. Well, part of it is because I'm autistic and I'm kind of eccentric anyway. And another part of it is that I just have an overactive imagination and I just can't stop creating characters. So, today I'm going to be introducing imaginary friend number 2, Ram Burgess. Now, Ram is a wizard, and he was born on April 18th, 2004 in Anchorage, Alaska in the United States, and his family were relatively poor growing up. His mom was a witch, his dad was a nomad, and his dad always used to tell him that he would be famous one day. I can't do magic myself, but you have the potential to do great things within the magic community, his father would tell him. Because he had so much pressure put on him from a young age, Ram grew up to be fiercely competitive. When he attended Silver Steel Academy of Magic between the ages of 11 and 17, the first thing he did his first year was join the dueling club. And that pretty much became his life, because even though he was an average student, he was amazing at dueling club. One of the best. And yeah, he would later go on to compete in, competitive, professional dueling tournaments and stuff after he graduated. He became my imaginary friend after another of my imaginary friends, Vivian Animus, who is a life dragon, ended up being the healer at a tournament he was competing in. He was injured, and he was really upset about losing even after Vivian healed him. So he was so upset that Vivian took him to see Chelsea Glynn, a vampire in my imaginary friend group who's known for being super cheerful. Chelsea took a liking to him and his girlfriend Ruby, who was also there instantly, and she decided to introduce the two of them to me. My initial opinions on Ram were that he was overly competitive and a bit arrogant. However, the more we talked, the more I realized he had a determination and a surprising open-mindedness about him that I liked. So he became my imaginary friend, and at first he was a bit skeptical when he realized we were all music nerds, but mainly because he never really delved into music outside of a brief emo phase during his 2nd through 4th years at Silver Steel. But eventually, when he realized that he could listen to it while practicing for duels, he got really into it. Anyway, Ram eventually broke up with his girlfriend Ruby because she got fed up with his practice schedule. This caused Ram to settle down a little bit, but he's still fiercely competitive. He's close friends with Rainbow Dash from My Little Pony because of his love of competition and his athletic abilities. And he also has learned basketball from Sarah Palin and football from Devin Sullivan, causing him to befriend the two of them. And when not listening to music, practicing dueling, or playing sports, he can be found watching sports, as well as movies and TV shows. If you're wondering what kind of stuff Ram is into, I'll happily tell you. His favorite types of music include his childhood favorites of emo and pop punk, but he's also a huge fan of genres like classic rock, the less extreme side of metal, though he does like thrash metal, other types of punk, rap, funk, R&B, electronic, especially if it has break beats. Basically anything he can work out to is fine with him. When it comes to movies, he's a huge fan of action-adventure movies, as well as comedies, superhero movies, science fiction, thrillers, and his taste in television is pretty similar. He's also a big fan of sports such as football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, tennis, and both the Winter and Summer Olympics. Yeah, Ram is pretty masculine in terms of his interests. That said, he is, thankfully, also fairly progressive on cultural issues and doesn't get on to other men for reading romance novels or watching My Little Pony. And he is pretty right-wing economically, though. I guess you could call him a libertarian, though I think he's registered as an independent if you want to go by which party he supports. Anyway, Ram has an interesting relationship with a witch named April Peters. The two of them both compete in competitive dueling competitions, and the two of them are always getting on each other's nerves, but you can tell they sort of respect each other by the fact that they're always practicing dueling together. So, yeah, and he also has a bit of an awkward relationship with his ex Ruby for understandable reasons. He still has feelings for her. Other fun facts about Ram are that he has the sun, moon, and ascendant in Aries, which, for you astrology people out there, yeah, that explains his competitive nature pretty well. And two, his favorite band is Panic at the Disco, though he was heavily disappointed by their most recent album, Viva Las Vengeance. And his favorite magic thing that he does is making a whole bunch of numbered tables appear, which is a reference to the song, "There's a Good Reason These Tables Are Numbered, Honey, You Just Haven't Thought of It Yet" by Panic at the Disco. And that's my video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'm Morgan. These are my imaginary friends. And I'm out.